prove the point that we're about to make with our friends from the MacDonald Garden Center today. Just a few moments ago, Ariane was standing here doing an interview. There was not a garden here, and then one just popped up in the commercial break. So Tammy is back to tell us about how you can also take a space where there is not a garden, and in a matter of moments with just some great potted plants, you can have a garden pop up on your porch, along your walkway, on your back deck. It doesn't have to be a huge space to make a huge statement with some pretty flowers. So thank you very much for coming back to tell us how easy this can be, how fun it can be, and affordable.
Well, thank you for having me back. Yes, the plants are just so much, they get better and better every year, and June is a great time to garden. We're having some cool weather, and that's when a lot of the flowers are just going into their peak. For several months they'll be that way. And we have them, you know, pre-planted containers like this one. This actually has an eggplant plant in it, a vegetable plant that will produce a vegetable mixed with beautiful plants that you don't eat as the season goes on. And these are actually made to fit into a container, a custom container, so every season you can buy a new liner and slip it into your pot and have updated plants that simply. So that's a really easy way.
So if you've got a pot at home, though, do folks need to know anything about proper drainage and having something kind of between the bottom of this plant and the bottom of the planter?
Yes, absolutely. It's a good idea always to have drainage. You can see even this pot has some drain holes in it. You want water to be able to get out of the pot, or you'll get root rot. So always there has to be drainage. Sometimes that's achieved with rocks in the bottom, but best is to have a hole in the bottom of the pot.
All right, because it never fails. You'll water and then it will pour.
Yes, yes.
Not Jeremy Wheeler's fault. And just sometimes if you forget to pay attention to the weather, you water and then it pours. I'm going to have trouble with Jeremy later just because I said that. What else do folks need to know about making good choices in terms of whether the spot they have in mind for a pop-up garden is in the shade or in the sun? A lot of times we're just drawn to plants that we think are pretty and maybe don't read the little tag that says it doesn't have a chance where we want to put it.
Absolutely key. That's key. Some plants need more sunlight, which is food for plants. So you definitely want to determine whether you have 4 hours of sun or less. 4 hours and less would be shade. 4 and more would be sun. And most plants are tagged. This is a great one for shade. The impatiens are just one of the foolproof almost. And this is a planting pot. They also come in hanging baskets, and I like taking these and planting them in the garden. And you have instant high impact. You need to buy less of them, and you get a higher impact, so you feel like you're already into late summer with the color.
Other than getting the little trays with the little plants, you kind of have to wait a little bit for them to really fill in.
That's right. That's right. This is when we have an outdoor wedding. We'll use these often just to give you that instant pop and make it look beautiful right away.
That's a very good point, because more and more people are kind of deciding to get married at home or in a simple space, and I mean this is an easy way to bring some color and things. And we were talking about that, the Home and Garden Show.
That's right.
About weddings in particular and what you can do. And I know with some of these, you're not just going to get beautiful flowers, but you might attract some pretty butterflies too.
Well, and this back layer, these are all shrubs. These will come back every year. So you plant these in your yard, and the hydrangeas are just, this one in particular is Endless Summer. It blooms repeatedly throughout the summer. Now this is a shade plant. This is your good old butterfly bush. Butterflies swarm to this. Comes in many, many colors and comes back every year also, blooms all summer. And then the Rose of Sharon, the old-fashioned, they've just come up with a new variety of this too, called Blue Chiffon. Gets to be a big, huge tree, actually, with the flowers. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. Something else that pops up every summer are the MacDonald Garden Center kind of pop-up gardens in the area. There's one now at MacArthur Center in Norfolk. If you want more information about that, you can go to shopmacarthur.com. Tammy Eilers, thank you so much for coming back and beautifying the studio. We wish it wasn't temporary, but you could do something permanent at your home.
Thanks so much.